What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing a tool review on this Ryobi 5-inch Orbital sander. I've had it for a couple months and I've had mixed emotions on it. So let's go over a couple of the key features and then I'll go over the good parts and the bad parts that I feel about this sander. So first of all, in the kit, when you order it, you will get a couple pieces of sandpaper. I think it's 3 different grits, and then you'll get the unit itself here. And the dust collection bag. The bag does a good job of collecting the dust. It obviously doesn't suck up the dust while you're operating it, but it does collect it and keep it from going into the air. So that's a nice feature to have. It does not have any sort of variable speed switch here. It just has the on and off switch, and then it has the standard hook and loop, almost like Velcro attachment for the sandpaper to hook it right on. Pretty easy operation, 18 volt, and it is the 1+ line, so you know the standard Ryobi batteries that go on everything go onto here. So let's get into we'll do the good parts first, and then we'll move on to the bad parts that I feel about this sander. So the good part, the best part of this is the price. I mean, it's $44 for a battery operated sander. I don't think you're going to beat that with any of the other brands. Another good thing is that, you know, it's battery operated, so I've had some frustrations with this in the past, and even though I think that it does have some shortcomings or shortfalls, I do think that the fact that it's battery operated, even though it's not my favorite sander to use, I do find myself using it pretty frequently just because of the convenience of having the battery operation. One example of that is I did something on my kid's playset. So instead of having to run an extension cord out there into the yard, I just grab this. It's so much easier that way. Again, the dust collection, it has this bag here, but the great part is that it's just a standard round collection here. So if I hook my shop vac up to this, it actually works extremely well. The only thing that I would caution you on is if you're going to do that, you have to line up, you have to make sure that you line up the holes on the sandpaper with the holes in the hook and loop. That way the suction can go and collect the dust through those holes. That's how that operates. Runtime is excellent. I have never actually done a comprehensive test of how long it'll actually run. I have 3 amp-hour batteries, and to be honest with you, I've never run one battery completely out while doing a sanding job, and I do quite a bit of woodworking, so that's definitely a good feature of this unit. I don't think you're going to run into an issue as far as batteries are concerned with this sander. So let's get into the parts that are maybe not so good. It doesn't have variable speed like I mentioned, so that's definitely not a plus for this unit. Another issue that I have is it seems like the heavier grit that you use further down, let's say like a 60 grit or 100 grit, it doesn't have the power to get through that, and then it starts to kind of kick all over the place, and it doesn't operate very smoothly as compared to my electric sanders. But again, we have to keep in mind that this is battery operated, not electric, so I guess that's kind of a give and take that you have to do. Another thing is with the battery on, it is, almost turned the switch on, I didn't realize that. With the battery on, it is a pretty good size, and it is on the heavier side. So I find myself, if you're sanding like this, it's okay. If you're sanding on a piece that's upright like this, I really get a lot of hand fatigue just because of the overall weight of it with the battery on it. So that's another shortcoming of this. But again, I think that the fact that it is battery operated, it's just so much more convenient than having to, have that plug. And I always find myself, when I use my electric ones, the cord's always in the way while you're trying to sand, and it's just a hassle. Another shortcoming that I wish that they did, and they've done with their other tools, is certain tools that they make, I think that they should integrate this with it. And for instance, this is a light that I have from Ryobi, and they offer the battery powered plug-in, but then they also, you can see here, they put the 2-prong plug for an extension cord. So, you know, with something like a light like this, could be a short job that you can just put the battery in for, but then again, it could be, you know, a longer job if you're doing, let's say, a home renovation, and you want to plug it in and have constant power. And I think that this would be the same way. It is a pretty compact tool, so I can understand why they didn't do that, but I do think it would be a great feature if they were able to add that in. That way, you know, you would have battery power when you need it, but if you wanted to plug it in and maybe get a little bit extra power out of it, you would have that option as well. So I think that those are all of my good parts and bad parts of this unit. Overall, I would say it's probably worth the $44. And again, like I mentioned before, I do find myself getting frustrated with it when I'm doing, you know, sanding like this. I get fatigued, but the fact that it's battery operated, I always find myself going back to this anyway, even though it's not my favorite sander. It's just so convenient that it makes it worth it. So I hope that that was beneficial to you guys. I'll do a quick that way you guys can see, you know, what it sounds like. It's not terribly loud. It's pretty nice to operate. The on-off switch works well for me, so I think that it's in a good placement. I hope that that was helpful. If you have any questions, please drop a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer it. And if there's any other tool reviews you'd like to see me do, definitely let me know, and I will take that into consideration. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks a lot for watching.